Abundance, and gratitude to all. Here we go, my people. This is the last 24 hours. So current time going backwards, the last 24 hours, April 21st, 2025 on this Gregorian calendar, the Magnetos pulse. Now, I want you to just look at this, my people. Now, today, supposedly yesterday was Easter Sunday, the resurrection, according to the Christian Bible, the resurrection of Jesus, right? So today, after they paraded the Pope around yesterday, all of a sudden he passes away. So when one door closes, another door opens up. So what is the Pope dying represent the resurrection of? The Pope passing away represent the resurrection of what? Because that was nothing but a whole ritual, whole ceremony. What does that mean? But anyway, let me just get on over here to this right here, because a lot of people want to play slow. More importantly, the complex cell. I am really sick of you complex cell organisms playing completely oblivious and foolish to what you have participated in and what you have turned a deaf ear and a blind eye to. Y'all really thought 400 plus years of physical abuse and now turned over to psychological abuse, you really was going to get away with this. You really thought you were. Now, but it's all coming to an abrupt, complete end. And the sad thing about it is, as I said this to you before, cannibalism will be at an all-time high. It won't just be in one section, the Asian, the Arab, the European. It's going to be all of you, and y'all won't be able to walk up underneath this radiation that's coming now. So here we go right here. As we look at the Earth is in the middle. The white side is the daytime side. The black is the nighttime side. So it's nighttime over here on the back side of the planet, right? However, you do see that energy coming in. But let's go over here and look at the daytime. The daytime side, the sun is over here. So the sun would be over here. And you see these colors that's blasting against the dome. The dome is this spaghetti strap string right here that stretches from the top right there, as you can see, is pressing in. This stretches from the North Pole to the South Pole. And look at the wow. And as that energy is blasting from the daytime as well as the nighttime, you clearly can see how the dome is shrinking down. Every time you see this dome shrink down or you see it wobbling like that, you must understand that there is excess radiation that is coming into the planet. And it's nothing that they can do about this. First and foremost, I just want you to look at the color. Look at the color that's surrounding Earth in its upper atmosphere. You see what color that is? That is purple. Just so that you know, that is purple. That is the highest form of radiation. And this radiation is according to their radiation chart, says to stay indoors. Do not go outside. See? And then you look at the square that Earth is in. You can see the squares. Look at the points. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see the point. You see the point right here? Look, you see the point at the bottom. You see the point right here at the top. Look at the square. You see it? You see the square? Earth is sitting in a square. You see the points on all sides. They are overlapping this picture. I don't know what is. They are hiding something. Again, like I said, it's nothing new. I mean, of course they're hiding, but the square that they are in and it's overlap, it's like something is over top of the picture, so that way you don't get the full spectrum of what's happening between Earth, the sun, and the dome. Now you look at the backside of the planet, where you can see that square at. You can see all of this energy coming in from the backside. You see that radiation? Look at all that energy. Those colors, those are all representing different frequencies of radiation, higher forms. If you can look over here, look right there. And then you look at these colors right here. You see these colors down here in the corner? That's the form of radiation. Ultraviolet light, whichever one you want to call it, that's coming from the sun. And the backside of the planet is nothing that they can do. So even at night, something is hitting the planet with radiation that is equally as strong as what's being hit during the daytime. And there's nothing they can do about this other than to get us, the organic people on this planet, to fully fall and go deep into this embarrassment. See, the embarrassment is going to be so the embarrassment is going to be so deep and so hurtful. I just want you to know something, that most of us are going to want to die. You understand? They already want to die. The complex cell organism already want to die because they know that they have been living a lie genetically and regarding the system that they have built on this world. They know that they have been living a lie, period. They know biologically they don't belong here, and they know the world in which they created was created off the genocide of women and children, and it's still being ran off the psychological genocide of women and children, the organic species of this planet. They know this already. So these people do not want to be able to face reality, but Mother Universe said we will reveal it all to everyone, because if you can't shame them, you can't change them, and that's what's happening. And if you look at this, the more light come into this planet, the more truth is going to come into this planet, and you cannot deny it, period. So now let's move up here to solar wind so you can look at the backside of the planet as well. But let's look and see how fast this solar wind reached up to. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I seen 900 kilometers per second. So you go 900 kilometers per second equals how many miles per hour? And you will see how fast the solar radiation was coming into the planet. And why is this important? Because if you would search up ARS, acute radiation syndrome, those syndromes are a direct result of an overload of radiation in a short period of time that can lead to malignancy, which aka cancer, and all the way to death. Just so that you know, meaning that you got an overload with radiation in a short period of time, and your body cannot your body cannot convert that sunlight into chemical energy. We should have no problem with absorbing that energy. We want the radiation levels. We want the speed of the radiation to be dense, and we want the speed to be over 1,000,000 miles per hour. We want that type of radiation coming into the planet. If not, you can get it up to 3,000,000 miles an hour, and it can be very dense. That'll be even better for us. So looking at the Earth right here, Earth is in the middle. The white side is the daytime side, so the sun is over here. These arrows represent solar radiation, ultraviolet light that is coming off of the sun. Some of these arrows, this radiation should hit the dome, hit Earth, and travel out into the solar system, right? However, if you look back here on the back side of the planet, these arrows are reversing back into the planet. So something is back there that their machines that monitors radiation is saying that, hey, there is something back on the back side of the planet that is sending cosmic particles that matches the cosmic particles that come from a star, a sun. So whichever's back here has equal amount of energy, or if not stronger, than the sun that we have in the sky. This is what the machine is saying to NASA, the government, whatever you want to call them, as well as to you if you're looking at this. This is why I am completely oblivious. I am completely thrown back in how the so-called educated leaders of the so-called black community, why are we not talking about this right here? This is the main thing that we should be talking about. If you go through any time of history, it don't make a difference what part of our history that you go back to, Egyptians, the Kushites, whatever you want to go back, everybody referred to the sun. Japanese, everybody referred back to the sun. They said that the sun is our salvation. The sun is our key to existence. The sun is the power, the generator to life. Everything went back through the sun. We never spoke about the moon. It had anything, no dealings with the moon. Everything was through the sun. This is through all history. Now, all of a sudden, now today, we would rather talk about what continent we from versus who can biosynthesize that gas giant up in the sky that actually matches us physically. That's the sad thing about it. So why are we not talking about that as a whole? The reason why we're not talking about that as a whole, because it goes against your ideology. Most of our people want to live just like these people. They want to live just like these people. They want to live in a put themselves in a position and everybody is underneath them. They want to live like them. And the sun says that's not how we roll in. We don't move like that. Everyone is equal. The only thing that separates us is self-discipline and knowledge of self. That is what separates us. That is it. You're not going to separate us because you became successful in a world that was built off of the genocide of children and women. You're not going to you're not going to no longer live in that stature no more. That is completely coming to an abrupt end. And when that comes to an end, just understand something. The real ones out here that knows the truth, the real ones out here that's been putting in that light work, I want you to understand something. We're not going for it. When the playing field completely becomes even, and we don't need the playing field to become even as far as social economics. We need the playing field to become even when the power grid go out. When the power grid go out and they no longer can have that control over that being able to monitor us, because that's what they're doing. They're just monitoring us and watching us. Just understand something, my people. Like I stated to you this before, and this doesn't make any sense. 468,000 children go missing a year in America. And that number has increased. But I want to make this very clear. 468,000 children go missing a year in America. Every 68 seconds, there is a child going missing. Every 30 seconds, one of my children are going missing. With all of the surveillance and all of the money that we spend in our national defense, and all of this, you can pull up a satellite right now and you can zoom into somebody home in Australia and see them sitting on the steps. So you mean to tell me with all of this technology right now that we have and all of the surveillance that is in so-called black people neighborhood that keep us safe, you mean to tell me nobody can detect, or nobody can catch the person that is snatching up children? Y'all have to be, listen, this is a joke. The more of these electronics, the more of these systems that we have accepted inside of our home, the easier it is for them to snatch our children. This is what you don't get. The more of these cell phones that we give our children, because they track our children through these cell phones, these devices, they have them on the Apple Watch, your cell phones, some of your Bluetooth devices, some of your clothes. Women was finding tracking devices in their bra. The woman bought a bra for her daughter, and there was a tracking device inside of the bra. So listen, I just want you to understand something. The more of the technology we supposedly have and we want and we think it's fancy, it's only to monitor us so they can snatch us up. That's all it is. And sooner than later, we're going to realize that. And you know how you find out who is snatching children? Segregate. That's all you have to do. We have to separate from one another to find out who's really taking children. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Again, I will say this without no hesitation. The brothers and sisters that want to talk about meaningless shit, the brothers and sisters that want to continue to fight and argue amongst each other while our children are being snatched, while our race is being destroyed, you are the weak part of our species. You are. You are the weak part of our species. If you can't see the core and how we are being subjugated, or how our children are being indoctrinated to be slaves, then there is something wrong with you, or you are part of the fucking problem. And this will be your judgment. Abundance and gratitude to you all.